Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering, and here I'm on Grixis Thieves versus Lucas on Ant. Shout out to Matt Luz letting me borrow Thieves for a rare chance to actually play. Actually, incorrectly said I was playing in a previous video. Actually loaning out Cephalid Breakfast to somebody, the video that came out yesterday. Watching the match, and I had absolutely no recollection of it, which is unusual because, I mean, a lot of the time I can remember quite a bit of detail from matches. When I was playing all the time, I could recall details of matches, from weeks before, like very accurately. My early 20s. I don't know if I could still do that. I don't know. I don't play nearly as much. Playing in like 7 events a week back then. Be the very best. Got Ponder so far, and what now Lucas is not on Ant. Not gonna lie. This is gonna be some type of Bant, not Ant. See right there, a dead giveaway. Dress Down, Prismatic Ending, and Teferi Time Raveler. This is a blue, green, white build. Not necessarily in that order of importance. I suppose blue has to take precedence. Not sure what would be the next most important. Green gives you Endurance and Uro. White gives you Teferi and Swords to Plowshares. Prismatic Ending, which is such an important, versatile card. Dak Faden has shown up. And that's what the Thieves deck is all about, is utilizing Dak Faden. We see that Grove of the Burn Willows, that can potentially get Punishing Fires back in hand as a card that you feel very good about discarding. Generating a massive amount of card advantage along the way. Baleful Strix. Love the art on this card. Some people would contend this is a legitimate win condition all on its own. This 1-1 beater for 2, aggressively costed. Really, though, it is about entering the battlefield, drawing a card, trading with threats, and Hull Breacher on the other side of the board. Grove, Punishing Fire. That was the point I was making previously. Hull Breacher going to deny the card draw and gave a treasure to Lucas. Not a May effect. Force of Will defending the Hull Breacher. And he's really throwing quite a wrench here. The plan, that's the saying. Hull Breacher knocks Dak down to just 1 loyalty. He's a real problem. Stops the Dak engine entirely. A Brainstorm in response to a Prismari command. Thing is not quite a Colgan's command. Can create treasure, destroy an artifact, 2 damage to any target, or draw 2, discard 2. Got a Dress Down just being thrown out there during the end step. So Uro going to be a 6/6 for 3, no ETB. He gets to attack, though. Quickly start repaying the lost value. Dress Down, removing all of the abilities from Uro. While it's on the battlefield, only 6 around for a turn. Time for him to start drawing cards. What are we going to see here? This Titan. Pretty scary. Easily clear the board of Dak and mop up in short order. I mean, 6 damage a turn is nothing to sneeze at. Starting out with a Brainstorm deck. Not being used first. At least if it was, I missed it. A Baleful Strix. Draws into that same card. I'm gonna give myself credit and say that I used DAC prior to the Brainstorm. That is the correct order of operations for the most part. Generally digging as far as possible. Oh, an Abrupt Decay. That is a setback. A real awkward mana here too. Lucas get that Uro back on the board this turn. Not that's a big tempo loss. No, it looks like 3 mana. Going to attempt to exile the deck. Totally tapped out. You know, one of the things about these types of matchups is a lot of the time you want to just be flexible and let your opponent play their 1-for-1 cards and focus in on the places where you're getting an advantage. You know, Dak without punishing fire may not be worth defending. Passing the turn with 5 mana available. Sorry for that jump. Got a Uro attempting to escape. And that eats a Force of Will. Hard cast. Ponder keeps digging. Sees a Force of Will. Yeah, these matchups very often are about having the most accurate understanding of which cards are like must counters, where to save your removal. You just counter everything that comes out and remove every creature as it hits the board. Not going to end up going your way. Takes a little bit of finesse. Here we've got Teferi, which blanks a lot of counter spells in the deck. I mean, you've got Force of Will, Force of Negation, anything that you're hoping to do at instant speed. Teferi's going to ruin your whole play. And kind of in a way halves your mana too. Like you really have to just utilize your mana on your main phase with Teferi on board. Endurance stopping the Snapcaster. So we have a Snapcaster mage looking to give Abrupt Decay flashback. Endurance shows up and just stuffs the whole line. Jack's gonna dig. Will he find the answer? Looks like a Punishing Fire going into the bin. That's good news for Thieves. Oh, and finding an Assassin's Trophy. Punishing Fire comes back. And this is just a board state that won't work out for Lucas. He's going to need to find something else. A hard cast Force on Uro. Again, that's not going to end up working out. As Dak Faden digs, discards Punishing Fire. The Snapcaster will eventually kill the Teferi. Brazen Borrower going to the bin. That cannot be a good thing for Lucas to see that quality of a card going to the graveyard. Worst card in hand is Brazen Borrower. Is probably not ideal, especially knowing that Uro could be bounced back to hand. You're letting them get these little paper cuts, these extra card draws when you take those type of lines, but they can only unearth them so many times. Got a Ponder. Ooh, perhaps setting up a terminus? Is that what I'm seeing there? Ponder setting up a terminus. Hull Breacher nuking Lucas's hand. You target Lucas. He essentially just discards 2 cards, and you get 2 treasures. So Dak now both ramping and decimating Lucas's hand. Hero destroys the Snapcaster Mage. This combat step could be dangerous. You're going to see an emblem? Emblem for the camera? It's probably not the right line. Blessing. Blessing to get rid of Lucas's hand. Now a Ponder. Digging for some type of removal. Yeah, that's too bad. See a fun line. Get an emblem, punishing fire, steal euros, steal to fury, steal all the things. Punishing fire isn't going to kill quite a lot in that deck. I mean, you've got endurance, euro, to fury, Jace. There's a bunch of permanents that you could target with punishing fire once you have your emblem and not actually kill them. There are a lot of matchups where punishing fire can't really steal anything because everything you target just dies, like if you're playing against elves. Death and taxes. Targeting the germ doesn't really help you. They still control the Batter Skull or Cauldron Complete. Alright, so the Fury takes a hit to the teeth, down to just 3 loyalty. We've got opposing Euros. And now Swords to Plowshares. So one of them out of the way. And Dak takes a hit. Oh, Hull Breacher gets a treasure. Lucas does not get to draw a card, thanks to Hull Breacher still being on board. Really does keep this Euro on lockdown. Oh, and is this an end of turn brainstorm? Ah, that was not supposed to happen. A little bit of confusion there. Probably in the wake of the attempt to draw a card with Hull Breacher. Baleful Strix totally ready to take one for the team here. Could not be happier to step in front of Euro, Will to Fury. Bounce the Baleful Strix? It does. And Dak is going to get cleared. Not going to be any instant speed counterplay. Lucas casting Uro. Sacrificing the new one, keeping the one that the rent has already been paid on. Paid up to the end of the month. Might as well keep him around. Continue attacking despite the Hull Breacher. At least a 6/6, but doesn't feel amazing. This Baleful Strix gonna have to be handled. Lucas has tons of cards that can do that. Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares at the top of the list, and he's pretty much out of resources here. Abrupt Decay. Takes out the Titan. And comes back. Grixis Thieves list really grindy. Actually, it's 4 color, not even just Grixis. Because you got the Euros in there too. Yeah, this is a grindy deck. Lucas scooping it up. Despite having 40 life. Not saying it's incorrect either. I had a very, very low chance he's winning that game from that position. Hull Breacher, just a monster of a card, denying all of the card drawing that's necessary to pull you ahead in this type of matchup. I mean, your Brainstorms, your Ponders, your extra cards off of Euro, Jace the Mind Sculptor, you name it. None of it's going to work. Face of the banned card in Commander. We get to keep playing with it in Legacy, though. That is a apparently fair value. 3 mana, instant speed, blue card that just really dominates the mirror. All right, so game 2. Already pretty far into this. That was a really long game 1. Skip over some shuffling. $16 minutes in at double speed, minus the shuffling, probably about 40 minutes into the match at least. Sylvan Library comes down. This sticks. This could really blow the matchup wide open. Saw last game Lucas with 40 life. Would have been happy to trade a bunch of that life for some extra cards. Of course, Hull Breacher does make that very difficult. Oh, and it's an immediately answered with Abrupt Decay. That card's pulling some very, very serious weight here. Abrupt Decay, uncounterable, laughs at cards like Force of Negation in hand, unable to defend. Of course, great use. Snapcaster Mage. Be able to play through Force of Negation again, as Snapcaster's a creature spell, so Force of Negation can't touch that either. Bunch of duels. Not really exactly banned here. We see red. I don't remember if there were any main deck red cards. It might be for extra reach with Prismatic Ending. Might be, Red Elemental Blast or something out of the sideboard. We've got Euro, the response of a Brainstorm. And he's going to be Pyroblasted. The strong answer, given the amount of time that's left on the clock. Lucas really needed to get down a 6-6 and start swinging. This may end up being a 1-game match. It's going to be wicked difficult for Lucas to find a way to win this game and another. So he may be just playing, try and square this up 1 game apiece and walk out of here with a draw. Round 2 of this event, so still be in line for prizes. You get prizes in our weeklies if you go X1 or better. So typically they're 4 rounds. So if you go 3-1 or better, you get prize shares. We give out 100% of the entry fees as credit. Anywhere near Bellingham, Mass, feel free to join us every Wednesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Getting the crowd back together here post-COVID. Had the pre-release this weekend. Slowly building the crowds back up. Still have our online events going. The attendance has dwindled quite a bit lately. For the rest of the year, we are giving away 3 Modern Horizons 2 booster packs on each of our online events. And I'll be talking more about it in another video, probably several videos, but Fee did just donate an Exodus booster pack for our Pauper Open. Going to be coming up Saturday after Black Friday. That Small Business Saturday? I don't know. There's so many names out there now for all of these different quasi-holidays. We've got Dak Faden, finally a target for the Force of Negation. Uncontested. 3 duels are tapped. Back to basics off of 3 basics. Snapcaster Mage. Back to basics would be really crippling. Veil of Summer. Oh no. Veil of Summer on the other side of the board here, so Snapcaster and Pyroblast uncounterable. Back to basics is cleared. Big oof. Now Jace the Mind Sculptor shows up too. Just 2 cards left in hand, facing down a Jace and a Snapcaster Mage. Remember, that unsummon, not typically super relevant, but when you've got a Snapcaster Mage, it can come online. The ability to bounce the Snapcaster and replay a card from the graveyard sometimes better than using that 0 ability of brainstorming. Fetch. A lot of Magic being played here. Tons of decisions. Assassin's Trophy. Gets denied by Veil of Summer. Brainstorm with Jace. And looks like Snapcaster ready to just take one for the team and keep Jace alive. We have Hull Breacher. Swords to Plowshares. Gets rid of him. And now Abrupt Decay takes care of Uro. But Lucas fires back with a Jace of his own. Still has the mana open for a Force of Negation, which he has in hand. Finds his own Hull Breacher, and this could get spicy. This could get very spicy. A Hull Breacher of his own. No, just counting on this Uro. From the graveyard, draws a card. Punishing Fire is going to take out this Jace pretty easily. Punishing Fire is actually a real problem when you're trying to keep Planeswalkers alive. Considering the best mode for Jace, Punishing Fire, ready to go. I mean, Jace can actually bounce Uro too. I mean, it's going to be difficult. Oh, and Veil of Summer to protect this Punishing Fire. Now all the spells are uncounterable this turn. A Brainstorm with the Jace. Assassin's Trophy would be legitimately uncounterable. Yeah, Snapcaster, Abrupt Decay. Another Uro. This feels pretty far gone. Despite having access to the Titan and some legit cards in hand, this just feels borderline unwinnable from here. This Punishing Fires are going to be able to take care of all of these crucial cards like Hull Breacher and Planeswalkers. And yeah, Luke is actually extending the hand. That might have been time, or that might have just been a concession, as that was a really grim board state. But either way, Grixis Thieves beating this 4-color control, which is a significant player in the meta.